these next 3 weeks before a game, what are the kind of the to-dos, the priorities for this team?
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll be able to get some scrimmage time outdoors, looking at the 10-day forecast, which we do all the time at this time of year and really all spring. Looks nice. So be able to get outside and build our pitchers up, keep them healthy, put them in some, the guys that are coming out of the pen, potentially putting them in some situations, and obviously any live balls that we can get off the bat is a bonus at this time of year.
With such a veteran team, I mean, how set are you kind of in roles and things like that at this point compared to maybe what you've been in the past?
Well, I think we have a pretty good idea of kind of what our pool looks like of starting pitchers. We got 4 games to open up, so we're going to need 4 starting pitchers. Positionally, we have all these guys back. I mean, we could roll the entire lineup back almost, save Josh Karen. But I think just the emphasis is like we got to just drive that competition every day. And we've seen it. I mean, especially early, we play a lot of different guys. Maybe play matchups, see if we can have some guys that match up against a tough lefty and vice versa. So I think we have a pretty good idea of who our top 12, 13 guys are. That's who usually ends up playing. But there's been some guys that have really emerged that maybe didn't have a great fall that have looked really good so far at this point.
How do you guys kind of take that step from being a Big Ten championship team to kind of go of hosting a regional and that next step?
Yeah, it's just kind of what you do every day. It's just the mundane parts of it. It's are you allowing yourself to get there mentally in practice setting, and just that level of intensity that it takes to win. I tell the team all the time it comes down to 5 games. And that's the difference between getting to a regional, staying at home, just getting to a regional, or hosting one. And so what you do in those days in between is ultra important, and it's not something we just talk about. It's something that we try to really practice, and I'm excited to see this group now that we've kind of narrowed it down to our 40 guys that are going to be on our roster moving forward in the spring, where we're at as opposed to where we were at in the fall.
McConaughey said that Frost is a tough out. What else does he bring?
He's a high character, first and foremost. I mean, he's a lot like the rest of the guys in the clubhouse. He fit in right away. Guy that's had a bet on himself, went to junior college, very lightly recruited. Had an amazing year when he had a chance to prove himself at the Division I level. And I think, just him playing in this environment last year, he wanted a part of that. And so he joined a lot of guys that were, part of it last year. Fits right in. I mean, he is a tough out. He can just get the barrel to the ball. He's very, very strong. He's not the biggest guy, but between his elbows and his fingertips, he's very, very strong. And just getting the barrel to it, the ball takes off pretty good off his bat.
The new Sand Hills Global place you guys are practicing in, what does that allow you guys to do? How much of a game changer is that, even especially maybe in the preseason? Yeah,
it's been in the works for years now, and we're very fortunate that Sand Hills Global has helped make that happen. Charlie Cologne, Darren Erstad, others that have pitched in, Alex Gordon even. So just very thankful that that's happened. I think it's great for the city of Lincoln, first and foremost, just what it's going to bring from the youth scene. But just our ability to go, like today, our field's not quite ready yet. We're not going to go play on a high school field. We're going to go play on our field, and I'm thankful to our administration now across 3 different administrations that have kind of stuck with the project too, and made that happen. And so we're excited to get out there. We're out there this morning, bright and early, just kind of making sure everything was in place. And there's a few finishing touches that need to happen, but just to be able to get out and move around and see the ball fly, it's going to be very, very beneficial to us.
You guys are pretty aggressive with the scheduling this year. Kind of knowing what you have those first 3 weeks ahead of you, is that going to get guys' attention? When you're kind of going through things now, or how does that kind of play into things?
I don't know that they necessarily look at it in totality as much as it's just, hey, we've got a pretty exciting opponent to open the season, and we're in a big league spring training facility. And I think the message with our group is that we're challenging this group for a reason. We think they can handle it. We've got a lot of returning players, a lot of older guys. Our starting lineup's going to have sometimes up to 30 plus years of experience in it. So those guys have seen a lot. The guys that are in the mix to start have logged a lot of college innings too. And really, that's, at the end of the day, that's what it takes to navigate a tough schedule like that. Is just, you got to have the guys on the mound that can keep you in the game and give you a chance to pop one when you got a shot.
Is Mason carrying himself a little bit differently now
yeah.
than maybe he was last year?
Yeah, and again, he's just the most unassuming kid. I mean, I told his story last year where he came in and, didn't know what his role was going to be come springtime. He didn't have a great fall. He wasn't ultra confident in, who he was at this point in time last year. We all saw what he was capable of doing. Once he got out there and mastered his role in the pen, got a little bit more as the season went along, and he's just a guy that's not really going to take it too serious, to be honest. And I say that in the most flattering way possible, and that he's a kid that he wasn't even going to play college baseball until kind of last minute in his high school career, and so he really cherishes the opportunities that he has here. And he's very, very confident right now. He's worked incredibly hard on his body. He's moving faster. Velocity's ticked up a little bit. He's leading from the front.
The guys on the mound who pitched postseason last year took a big step.
Yeah.
You got to be excited of them coming back. Brockett, those guys.
Yeah. Well, when we saw, obviously Brockett was great for a good stretch there at the end. I mean, the no-hitter, obviously, everybody speaks about, but the Sunday game against Indiana was a potential season changer for us to win that series the way that we did. And then he got punched in the Big Ten tournament and came back and pitched a gem on Sunday. So there's no looking back for him at this point. And you could just tell in the way he's carrying himself now. He feels like he's, not that he's made it, but that he's not looking back either. And so Will Walsh has obviously had a lot of big innings for us. Tyner Horn took a lot of confidence from the end of the year last year. And some of those guys. So we're going to see a lot of guys carry that, but again, you're only as good as your last pitch. So can you stay confident, when you give up a big barrel? If you have a bad outing, can you stay process oriented? Those are the things that we're looking for.
How has Tyner's arm developed, and have you kind of have any other arms that have progressed like how you'd like to see this offseason?
Yeah, Tyner, he made a point this summer to kind of go out and find himself again a little bit, that's what summer ball's often for. Came back he's never really lacked confidence, but I think he's lacked maybe the routine that it takes to be a starting pitcher at this level in high school. You can kind of just go out there and blow it by people. And he never even gave up a home run in high school, and so he had to kind of face some of that adversity, figure out what his process was going to be. He did that this summer. He was amazing this fall. Difference being, again, you're starting to find out you can't just throw 95 right down the middle, especially when the hitter knows what's coming. Throw the breaking ball early in the count. Throw the changeup in there as well. Fastball's going to play a little bit more. Now, again, the things that we're talking about with him is, can he be as dedicated to his craft week to week like Brett Sears was last year? That's the difference maker. You don't ride the highs and lows of, what your successes or failures are. You just keep putting the work in. So that's going to be a key for any young pitcher.
You said that you're challenging. You're able to challenge this team more just because of the experience and all that. Do you enjoy coaching a team more that you're able to do that with, just because they'll be able to handle the ebbs and flows of the season than maybe a younger group?
Yeah, I think it's it's just the way that college sports are trending in general. It's just you've got older rosters and there's more players available now than there ever have been for every sport across the country. So yeah, I mean, I haven't really changed the way that we've coached these guys, because they've been in the fire before and they've seen that it can work if you have a certain level of intensity. Sure, it makes it a little bit easier for those guys. They can say, hey, this works because we've done it before. So I think it's just kind of hopefully the point that we're at in our program as well, kind of building it and getting to a point where the expectations are high and you welcome those challenges. You don't back down from them, and I'm looking forward to seeing this team do that.
Are you guys naming captains this year, Will, or is it going to be more of an organic leadership?
Yeah, we'll do it like we did last year. Those guys emerged, and I think you kind of saw it, particularly by the end of the season, who kind of our leaders are, the guys that took some of the biggest swings at the end of the year. Again, just those, it's the collective challenge is, can you keep it simple in what you're trying to get accomplished? And it's winning in the team. That's it. And so the guys that are focused on those things, they're going to help lead the team.
What have you kind of seen from Hogan behind the plate, coming in trying to take Karen's job?
Yeah, I mean, very steady. He's obviously got a lot of experience back there. He's got a lot of really good arms where he came from, and just got a quiet confidence. I think you're going to see a guy that is going to really bring something a little bit more to the table with the plate, maybe than what he's shown in the past. And he's had a good career up to this point, but I think there's a little more power in there than he's given himself credit for in the past. And you know, he's done a really good job of getting to know every single pitcher on our staff, and he does a great job back there.
Going into year 2, I guess, with Rob, I mean, are you seeing more of his fingerprints and work kind of show up with the pitching staff maybe than what you had last year?
I think so. I just think the comfort level, just the continuity of knowing what you're going to get, and he's the ultimate guy that's consistent. He shows up and he does the same thing every day, and their bullpens are the same, so they can run those type of things off. And I just think it's the habit-forming drills that these guys have that allow them to, you know, have a chance to go fill up the zone. And I think everybody knows by now that's kind of what Coach Childress' MO is his pitching staff throws strikes, but it's not by accident. You know, we speak it into existence, but it comes from a lot of hard work. And I definitely have seen the growth of some guys that you know, I was hoping to see growth from, and it just comes from just keeping it simple every day and having a great mindset, which Coach really helps bring.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank